Now, I'm going to tell you, I'm watching the media reaction last night and reading it. MRC did a great job on Newsbusters laying out the stupidity of the analysis of what Donald Trump's speech was all about last night. You know, you got CNBC, Trump's use of illegal alien murders reminiscent of the Willie Horton ad. We interviewed on this program mothers who lost their children, murdered by illegal immigrants that not only were here illegally, but committed crimes here illegally, in many cases violent crimes here illegally, and they still were not sent back to the country that they came from after serving their jail sentences. And then they kill their children. Well, that's your country failing American families and people dying needlessly. Somebody has got to take responsibility for their stupidity. And you can take it for Bill Maher, another idiot. You know, Republicans, quote, his quote, are retarded Nazis. Election is a referendum on decency. I see they brought that idiot, Jon Stewart, back from the dead. And great, attack me all you want. I was right about Obama, and you were a fool who had your head so far up Obama's ass, Jon Stewart. I've never seen anybody kiss an ass like you kiss his. And now you're sucking up to him, putting your head up Hillary's ass, and sucking up to her too. Fine. The country's not better off, John, because Jon Stewart, we've got 95 million Americans out of the labor force, John. Do you care about them? I know you're a rich liberal. You're donating money to those families, the 46 million American families on food stamps, John? Hey, John, are you helping out the 50 million Americans in poverty? Hey, John, are you going to help use your wealth from all your comedy writers that lay out the material for you? Are you going to help pay down the debt that Obama's accumulated, more debt than every other president before him combined? Are you going to help, John, the 1 in 5 American families in the country that don't have a single family member that have a job? I know you're rich enough you don't have to work anymore, but these people are dying to work. And just like kids, they suck it up, they do what we tell them to do, they get their degree, and what happens? They end up living back in their mommy and daddy's basements because they can't get a job. Then you got Rachel Maddow, loved by this idiot Eric Wimple over at the Washington Post. I love these media critics. Hannity should not be doing convention coverage. He liked Melania's speech. Oh, let's see. But then he's talked about Rachel Maddow and the great coverage she's been doing. And Brian Williams. But wasn't Brian Williams found out to be a pathological liar? You know, well, Maddow last night, Eric Wimple's, I guess, one of his favorite reporters of all time that should really be doing convention coverage, even though the only people that seem to be watching it are people like him because I've seen the ratings and nobody watches MSNBC. Anyway, she said last night that Donald Trump serves as a gateway drug to transforming the GOP into one featuring people like David Duke. Wait till next week. I am telling you, wait till you watch this convention of the Democratic Party. You are going to see more people detached from reality that think global warming it's not global warming anymore, and it's not global cooling anymore. It's the euphemism climate change, because they were wrong when they said the new ice age is coming in the 70s, and they were wrong in the 80s and 90s when they said the world was going to blow up from all the overheating and global warming. So now they use one generic term, climate change, so it justifies when it snows or doesn't snow, whether it rains or doesn't rain, whether or not the temperature goes up or down. They have an excuse for everything. And it's rooted, of course, in a political agenda. And they'll say that's more dangerous to us than terrorism, as the president and Hillary have suggested. You got on MSNBC, Trump's speech protects white America thanks to talk radio culture. Well, that's not the speech I heard. And then on CNN, you got Van Jones terrified by Trump's schizophrenic, psychopathic speech about Mad Max America. And it gets worse. MSNBC mentioning big cities' names is racist coded language. Well, let's see. If you mention a city like Detroit, one of America's greatest cities, and I've been there, and I wanted to cry the last time I was there, and they're bulldozing entire neighborhoods to consolidate services because of bad trade deals by people like Hillary that have incentivized companies, auto companies, to move the hell out of Detroit. And that left everybody behind with no jobs, no money, and you can buy a house for $1 on the Internet in some places in Detroit. Don't mention the name, because that's racist coded language. And then you got the obsessive Matthews bringing back Cruz, McCarthy, Link, the villain who punched the victim, Donald Trump. It's insane. We're living in insane times. So this was the